Food sovereignty is the inherent right of a community to define its own diet and therefore shape its own food system. But for tribal communities, it's this extra layer. When we're utilizing food sovereignty and nutrition in really strategic and well thought out ways, as our ancestors did, we know that we can address the health of future generations. With that in mind, breastfeeding is really important because we know that women who initiate breastfeeding and can stay for a duration of breastfeeding exclusively for at least 6 months have a lower risk of getting diabetes later on in life, and the same for their children. But what we're learning at this gathering in particular is we are affecting our grandchildren and therefore great-grandchildren by taking care of ourselves, managing our stress really well, and feeding ourselves well. And we have to do that as a community. And that's what tribal food sovereignty is all about.
And I had the opportunity here today to present at the Food Sovereignty Conference, the keynote address that includes knowledge of how to gather and hunt and fish for traditional resources. It includes the work to understanding the ecosystems and the health of our ecosystems that are necessary to cultivate and maintain these foods that we as a people rely on. And finally, in engaging with policymakers about the importance of food sovereignty to Native people and our survival.
I think that through these communications that we're able to strengthen our relationship and our ties back to the foods again, and to change a people back to a healthy people, a more vibrant people, a people that live longer. The land requires us to be a part of it as well. And I think through this food sovereignty movement that the land will get healthy again, and also we'll become healthy too as people.
The way I look at food sovereignty is that the salmon is a first foods. So in the management of that first foods, we got to look out for our future. We got to have sustainability for our salmon to return to the tributaries. And so that entails a lot of work as far as the stream restorations, the ability for the fish to return and spawn. Our people have been fishing since time immemorial, and we recognize that our salmon are our first foods. We honor the first salmon when they return. Food sovereignty is really important to each individual tribe for their own specific reasons.
To place that value back upon the food and what it provides, only we can do that. There's a competition of food that you buy at Costco versus the foods that you would go gather. You know, the foods that we have gathered have been devalued, and it's up to us to at least do our part, what we can do. And this is the beginning of that movement again, and bringing that culture and a way of life back is what food sovereignty represents.